So let's talk about
a good investment. Maybe movie theaters should do this. Like, if we ever apply to be like film testers, we should get our money back. Like they said, click this link to get your money back.
I don't think you get. I don't think they charge you. I think you sign up on a.
I need money. I'm broke.
Well, I can't help you there.
That's true. We're both broke.
I'm not broke. You're broke. I just can't help you.
What do you mean I'm broke?
You just said you were broke. I said you're broke because you said you were broke.
I just say that because that's a Gen Zer thing.
We're talking Matt Reeves and the Batman and the fact that this is going to be a 3-hour.
Are we actually going to stay?
Oh, hell yeah. We're going to stay the whole thing. You gotta use this for work. You got to watch it with me. And I'm excited.
You want to buy adult diapers with me?
Yep, I do.
Yeah, let's do it. Like Brett and I are like, yeah, we're just walking to Target buying adult diapers.
We're going to go in there with Depends. Like, I'm going to see every second of this movie if it's the last thing I do. I want to talk about the tale of two different article types here.
Yeah.
So we've got this article from Deadline. It says Matt Reeves, the Batman, to come in as longest ever pick on Caped Crusader at nearly 3-hour runtime. Mm-hmm. And then this other article from Gizmodo, which should tell you everything you need to know. The Batman is way too long. That's literally the article headline. I hate that type of negativity for negativity's sake before they've even seen the movie. Yeah. Matt Reeves is a master of pacing. Yeah. All of the Planet of the Apes movies are on the longer side. One thing that's interesting about this is I think I brought this up a couple of times when we would talk about the Zack Snyder movies. One of the reasons those movies did so poorly is because they felt unintelligible because they kept cutting down the movie. They wouldn't let him make the long movie that he wanted. Mm-hmm. Be it Batman vs. Superman or the Justice League. All of them, the Justice League obviously got cut up by Whedon and then reshot. Yeah. But Batman vs. Superman had an extended edition that was like it was only like 35 minutes longer, and the movie made like 1,000% more sense. So the studio, to let Matt Reeves release this movie at nearly 3 hours long, must mean that they have a lot of faith in him as a director, because as I've mentioned countless times, Warner Brothers has this inability to just let their artists be artists and work. They always get involved. They always put their hands on it, and it always ends up being to the detriment of whatever the piece is. So if they're going to let this exist at 3 hours long, that is pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. I think that says a lot about his storytelling. So this is the Deadline article, and it says Matt Reeves' upcoming film, The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, will be the longest Dark Knight picture in history at a runtime of 2 hours and 55 minutes. Shane Cashman sent me I saw one that said 2 hours and 57 minutes. Yeah. And then Shane Cashman sent me a link that said 2 hours and 55 minutes. I'm like, dude, that sounds like a rumor. I don't think that's true. Like, how could they make a 3-hour movie and expect people to sit through it? Now, I will sit through it, but I know how the studios think when it comes to this stuff, and I don't think they will. He was right. They're absolutely gonna let it happen. Yeah,
we're just gonna fall asleep.
No, I will.
Well, I will.
She will fall asleep. I will stay up through the whole thing and bother her and be like, "You see that? Did you see that? Did you see that?"
And watch him just smack me, go like, "Wake up!"
There was they released a scene from. Did you watch the funeral scene that they released? You probably haven't seen it. They released a full scene from the movie where Bruce Wayne is at a funeral and then a car comes exploding in through the back of the church and you can see the Riddler up on this top balcony. It is so masterfully done. The tension is there through the whole thing. I'm very, very excited about this movie. Yeah. So it says set to release in the U.S. on March 4th. The Batman is also one of the longest superhero films in history, boasting 8 minutes worth of credits alone. It follows Avengers Endgame, which came in at close to 3 hours and 1 minute, as the longest to hit theaters. So. And while Zack Snyder's Justice League went straight to HBO Max last March, is the longest overall of 4 hours and 2 minutes, but that was done in sections where you can watch it as parts. It's basically part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and then the epilogue. That's a little bit different. That you can do that at home and take your bathroom breaks and pause it. Imagine if everyone in the theater could just pause the movie every time somebody needed to go to the bathroom. Yeah. And everybody has to wait.
They're like, you're taking a long piss. This is a very expensive movie.
We're all going to have to sit here all day. And then there's got to be somebody there with who has a really bad bladder and they have to go every 20 minutes and they keep pausing it.
If you have IBS, please don't go to the movie theaters.
We're sorry. Miracle doesn't mean that you're allowed to go to the movie theaters. just wear a
diaper like me and Brett. We're gonna wear diapers. We're gonna be sponsored by
You're
this.
doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna tough it out and just ruin my bladder.
Dude, that's how you get a UTI. Do you want me to bring you probiotics and cranberry juice? Go like, here you go, Brett.
I'm okay. You don't need to do that for me.
I do have probiotics. They're gummies.
Of course you do. Thank you for that.
I can't do pills anymore. I think the world has softened me.
That is disgusting. Thank you for telling me that. We appreciate that.
Wait, what do you
Miracle.
mean discuss?
Never mind. I just don't want to hear about your. I don't want to hear about anything to do with your bowels or
No,
anything to do
I'm
with
just
your
saying like it's hard to swell pills now.
Oh, okay. All right.
You
Yeah.
weirdo.
Well, that never gets harder for me given my past. I just don't take them anymore. The past Batman films closest to Reeves in length are Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight, 2 hours and 45 minutes, and that's actually I forgot that one is that long. And The Dark Knight, The Dark Knight Rises was 2 hours and 45 minutes. That makes more sense. Yeah, and then The Dark Knight was 2 hours and 32 minutes. I think another reason that I like a lot of the animated movies, just as an aside, is they're shorter.
Yeah.
I think the one we watched, Apocalypse, Injustice, and Gotham by Gaslight are all like under 120 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. Like that's just right for me. Like it's not so long. Like a lot of these movies struggle with the third act. Like I love the movie Casino Royale, but the whole third act feels almost unnecessary to me with the story with Vesper drowning in the it feels like the first two acts are perfectly paced and then the third act is kind of tacked on. So when they get longer like that, I always struggle with it. I'm hoping that Matt Reeves' talent at pacing will keep this from becoming like that.
Yeah.
That the third act will kind of fit in more in tune. So the latest Batman film from Warner Brothers and DC picks up with Pattinson's Caped Crusader in his second year of fighting crime, watching as he uncovers corruption in Gotham City that connects to his own family while facing a serial killer known as the Riddler, played by Paul Dano. Zoe Kravitz is Catwoman and Colin Farrell fully transforming himself into the Penguin. One thing that's interesting is we've talked about it maybe being the Court of Owls and that his parents are part of the court or were part of the Court of Owls in this. I've also been told that there was a really long interview that Mr. H on YouTube covered that this really is going to be the first Batman story that's done as a detective story, meaning that it's actually him playing the world's greatest detective. Like other movies have kind of paid homage to that in aspects, but they rarely ever really show him as a detective figuring this stuff out. So I'm hoping that that's true, and that if a lot of the reasons that it's paced this way is because it's him figuring things out in kind of linear fashion as he's solving the crimes. I'm very excited for Paul Dano in this. I think I said that every time we talked about it. Andy, it's going to be interesting to see Andy Serkis's. And the funny thing is, I didn't even make this connection. Andy Serkis was in the Planet of the Apes movies, and those were directed by Matt Reeves, and he plays Alfred in this movie. So I forgot about that. And then Jeffrey Wright. I don't know who John Turturro plays in this movie. I'm not sure who he's cast as. So this comes out March 4th is not that far away. We're almost at the end of January right now. So we're getting closer and closer to this every day. Like I said, in the past, these studios go through a lot of work to cut these movies down because they want to be able to fit in as many showings into the day as possible. The shorter a movie is, the more times you can fit it in that theater per day.
Yeah, for
so
sure.
my hope is that if this does very well, this leads to a history or to a future where Warner Brothers doesn't get as involved in their director's work and start changing things.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So, are you more excited for this or Morbius?
Morbius.
Why?
Because I want to see a doctor. Basically, he's crippled, and then he turns into this muscular man out of nowhere. And you're like, what happened? He's like, I got bitten.
It's like when they did when Chris Evans plays Captain America and they have to like digitally shrink him to make him not Captain America. Yeah. Like he's like so skinny and I'm like, it's very clearly CGI.
Yeah. Well, they did that for the What If series on Disney Plus, where instead it said, what if what's her name? Agent Carter. What's her first name? Peggy Carter became Captain
America.
No, not Captain America. Captain Britain.
Oh, Captain Britain.
Yeah.
I didn't see What If.
Okay, I rewatched it and I kind of like it. There was one episode that I wish
Captain Britain just doesn't have the same ring to it.
No, and it's funny because like there was so many memes that came out after that episode. They were like, dude, Captain Britain is thick.
She thick.
She thick. But there was one episode that they skipped where it's Gamora, where she finally defeats Thanos, but they didn't do that episode. They skipped it. And the episode that I keep on bringing up, the one with
Haley Atwell plays Peggy Carter too in live action. She's not thick. She's.
Are you actually searching this up? Yeah, you are.
Yeah. I liked the Agent Carter show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was actually a pretty good show. I'd have gone with who's the lady who plays? Oh God, she was in the show Revenge.
I like her.
The actor.
know.
Yeah, you know who I'm talking
Mm-hmm.
about. That another show that was actually pretty good that nobody really nobody my age probably watched, but
Well, it's because like people were tired like the whole like drama series already.
yeah, we were past Scandal was big at that time.
I didn't like Scandal that much.
First 3 seasons I loved of Scandal. Who am I thinking of here? Emily Van Camp played Sharon Carter.
Yeah.
So yeah. See, neither of them are really thick. Scarlett Johansson's thick. Kind of thick.
Where?
Well, like white girl thick.
I had a friend, I don't know if she remembers me, but she was a white girl, but she was like really thick. And like she was like skinny, so it like blew my mind. Like she was really skinny, but she
Yeah.
was thick.
Okay, well that's good. Good for her. So I just want to touch on this Gizmodo article because I hate stuff like this.
Yeah.
I hate these really like the snark shines through when you put that many A's in the title.
It's way too long.
Way too long. It says that the complaint that blockbuster movies nowadays are too long has been a standard gripe for a while now, and so common that it's become stale and annoying on its own. See, there's so much smugness coming from this article. I want to acknowledge that I know this and agree with this sentiment, and yet I am utterly powerless not to say that Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson upcoming Batman movie is too damn long. Like way too long. He sounds like he's on Twitter. The Hollywood Reporter said that the movie runs frankly disgusting 2 hours and 55 minutes, only 8 of which are the closing credits. That's the longest by far of any previous Batman movie, nearly 30 minutes more than Avengers Infinity War, and mere 7 minutes less than Avengers Endgame, which also starred dozens and dozens of major characters. Yes, well, if you tell the story well, you don't need dozens and dozens of characters to tell a story, even at 2 hours and 55 minutes. Now, I'm not saying that this isn't a large task in front of them, but if you have a talented director, and it's not one who in the past is known for padding the runtime, the Justice League movie, the Zack Snyder movies, he's known for padding the runtime. Like long scenes of people walking where you could cut to them just being there.
Yeah.
He's known for that. Matt Reeves isn't really known for that. So you have to have faith that what he's creating here is actually going to be relevant to that. So I don't, he does say at the end, he says, maybe I'll eat my words when the Batman premieres on March 4th, and I'll be happy to do so. But I think it's rather telling that when this news broke, many critics didn't feel excitement at having so much more Batman content to watch. Just exhaustion. I didn't see that exhaustion. Maybe he saw that, but I didn't see that exhaustion. Everyone that I hear talking about this said that this seems like it's a sign from the studio that they got a lot of faith in the movie. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.